Hello YouTubers, today I'm going to be teaching you Who's Crying Now by Journey. There's multiple ways to play this song. I made my own way to play it. You could change it up. You can make it harder or easier, or some keyboards are smaller. I have a full size, but some are smaller, so you can adjust it to whichever keyboard you have. But I'm going to teach you my way, and feel free to change it if you would like to. Okay, now let's begin. Okay, let me teach you the first part. Let me go ahead and play the first part for you so you know what you're going to be learning. So, how about we start with the right hand, because I'm going to start with the more complicated. First, you're going to be playing a C, an E, and an A. Okay, you're just going to, and that's going to be kind of like staccato, so it's going to be quick. And then you're going to go down to a B, D, G. So it's going to be like, and then you're just going to go right back up and play it again. But the second time that you play this C, E, A is not staccato, so it's. And then in your left hand, while you play that, you're going to be playing a single A down here. Some people play the double, but I like to just start out with just the single. I add in the double later on, but you start with the single A, and you start with the single A, and you just. And that's basically it's a pretty simple song. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Okay, the second part is going to be, I'm going to play it again for you. So, it's the right hand is very similar. The left hand does a little bit more than it did before. So, in the right hand, you're going to be playing the C, E, A, like you were before, and you're going to go right down to the B, D, and G, and then go right back up, so it starts out exactly the same. But then you're going to go down to a G, C, E. So it's going to sound like, and that's the only difference, but it's played exactly the same as the first part was. And the left hand is it was playing the A before, so you have, and then you're going to go ahead and play this E, A, and then you're going to play an F. And then as soon as you hit that F, then you play. So let me go ahead and play it the whole way through. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next part. Okay, here's the third part. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you. Okay, so what we have here, I'm going to start with the right hand again. You're going to be playing a D, F, and A first, and then you're going to move down to a B, E, and G. So it's going to sound like, again, the first part's staccato. That's pretty common throughout this song. And then after that, instead of going up here like you would think you're going to go, then you're just going to play these two notes, the B and the E, and then you're going to move up and you're going to play the D and the G. So it's going to sound like. Okay, and meanwhile in the left hand, you're going from where you were before, and you're going. So that's going to be C, E, D, and after you play that C, E, D, you go on your right hand and you play that, and then you're going to move up to an E, and you play. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play that through with both hands, that part I just told you. Whoops, pardon me. And then from there, you're going to go in your left hand up to an A, and you're just going to play that beginning part again. But without the fourth part. So I'm going to play that whole section through. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to play the whole thing that I've taught you so far, so you can get the whole thing. Make sure you got everything right. And then you actually are going to play that multiple times throughout this whole song. And what I like to do from here is when you're going to play that whole thing again. You're going to play the whole thing again. But to transition it, after you get that final, you go. Now, if you have the full keyboard, which, I know some people are on smaller keyboards, which I was, but now if you have a full keyboard, full piano, whatever, I like to go and play the octave A, because it gives it gives it a fuller sound, and then you play the whole thing again, and you're gonna play that whole section 3 times. So the third time, the second time you got to play it, you go, and then the third time I like to do the whole thing octaves, and then you played it again a third time, and then after that it changes a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works. Okay, so you're going to play that part I taught you 3 times, and then when you get to your 4th time playing it, basically it's going to be the same, but the transition is going to change. So instead of it being like on your 3rd time like it was, it's going to change to, and that is a E, G, A, C, B, A. It's kind of played like that. That last A is kind of a little bit delayed. And now if you wish to play that octave A at the end, you can. And then when you get to the song, you're still going to be doing the same thing, but now you can play it just as you did before, either octave A or just plain A, if you want. Or the actual way to play it, I'm not very good at this, but what I do to improvise is just to pulsate that A. So, and I think that it adds a little bit different. Instead of playing the same thing over and over and over, you kind of you pulsate that A, and then instead of switching, and when you get to the next part, instead of going, you just like that. So let me go ahead and play a little bit for you. But other than that, it's all the same thing. And then you go down to the D, up to the E, and back to the A. And now you'll play that with the pulsating 2 times. And once you get to the end, you'll play that transition 1 more time. And then after that, honestly, it's just back to how you started before, just with the flat out A. And you'll play that 2 times, and then you'll go back to this, and you'll play that 2 times. And there are other parts in the song. This is the easier parts. I actually will make a later video on how to do the more complicated parts, which I'm actually still in the process of learning. I have one of them. The other part is actually kind of hard, so I'm in the process of doing that. But other than that, that's the song. I mean, you'll play that, and anybody who's heard the song before will know exactly exactly what you're playing. So yeah, I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So hopefully this video helped. I noticed there really weren't that many videos for teaching people how to play this song, and I really like this song. So I hope it helped. Thank you.